Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're building an insectarium, and you may notice by me talking right now we're doing something different. I'm gonna be talking through the time-lapse. So I had a lot of time-lapse and I find like just time-lapse without commentary for over 5 minutes gets a bit boring, and I think we have like 12 minutes of time-lapse here, so I'll just be talking through it. May not do this all the time. I may start doing it, no promises, but anyway, let me commentate what's going on in the video. So we're building an insectarium, as the title may show, and what we're doing here is building these little terrariums on platforms, on elevated paths. Could use the tank walls, but a lot of items you can't actually place on top of them, and also they're way too bright, like a sand color. Doesn't really match the colors you need for an insect exhibit. And also you can have different colors here, so like that exhibit I just built, use a dark bit of a dark brown, so it looks more like dirt, and in other exhibits it's can use a bit more of a lighter color. It gives me a lot more flexibility to use the parts instead of those tank pieces. So, and also a huge factor in building this insectarium is use of the pillars, as you should be able to see soon. Like a single tile is way too big for a single insect exhibit, because a single tile is 2 meters by 2 meters, which is just massive for a little spider or grasshopper or beetle. So by using the pillars you can make them a lot smaller, a lot more realistic in size. I do also use the pillars later on to give a few more organic shapes in the actual building. See that just now. But yeah, we adding on some more pillars, and over here I'm trying something. I think I saw this at Cincinnati Zoo, like some images on Google, where they have the exhibit, I don't know what to call it, yeah, the terrarium kind of sticking out of the wall like this here. So I just use some pillars to divide it into 2 sides, so it sticks. So split one tile into 2, so you have 2 exhibits there. See, the one is kind of more temperate themed and the other one's going to be a desert theme. So I thought that was a cool idea. And just now we're going to start the other one, like right next to it, and that one's going to be going through the wall. Should be doing now, yeah. So this one is going through the wall rather than like being split into 2. And since the pillars, if you like put them on the elevated path, they do kind of stick a bit down, so I had to use Locusts concrete pillars just to make it a bit more, just so the pillars don't stick into the actual terrarium and gives a better look. So I believe those 2 exhibits were meant for spiders and scorpions. So I know usually they call them insectariums, but often they have a lot more than just insects. They'll have centipedes and millipedes and different arachnids. Yeah, I guess that's just the just the accepted name for it, even though they're not many insects, mainly insects used in the exhibits. Sometimes they call them bug houses, which is even more accurate, because bugs are just a single family of insects and misses out a whole lot of what the actual area has. But I guess it attracts more people to call it a bug house or an insectarium. And over here what we're working on is an ant farm, or an ant exhibit. Well, obviously there are no ant models you can use in game, but this is just kind of concept. I'm using these poles as a way to show the different chambers and tunnels throughout the exhibit. And the little elevated path section, those 2 tiles on the side of the tunnels and all that, is kind of the areas where the ants will go foraging for items and stuff. So I thought that was a kind of cool setup. There are different ways you can set that up to have maybe the tunnels below the elevated path, or maybe use one of the sand tank inserts and then have the, like, I don't know, walk around area, I'm not sure what to call it. Yeah. And over here we are working on I believe it's like a little guest interaction area where guests can go and interact with the insects, and there'll be a little desk here. So that little brown area made with the bookshelves are kind of supposed to be little dirt patches. We'll have like, I don't know, things like beetles, maybe earthworms in, and guests can kind of come and interact with them. And behind the counter you'll have staff that will monitor, making sure guests are doing what's right. Oh, and over here is another ant farm concept. It's kind of based on the Insectarium in Montreal, the leafcutter ants, having two sort of islands, one where the ants live and another one where they go and forage for food and stuff. So I'm not too sure on the result of this. It doesn't look so great, but it's the best I feel like can be done in Zoo Tycoon. So you see with those little cabinets there, they act as the nesting chambers for the ants. There's like supposed to be dirt in there, and then the ants will nest in there and they come out and get food on the other island. So I thought that was a cool concept. It doesn't look anything like the actual exhibit in Montreal, but I kinda got the idea from it. Doesn't look so great, but I think it's the best we can do in Zoo Tycoon 2. And speaking of other Zoo Tycoon, speaking of just games in general, I feel like soon what will happen in Planet Zoo, it's kind of hard to avoid talking about that and doing a zoo video nowadays, a zoo game video. But like, everyone's kind of speculating about what the large animals would be like. Everyone forgets about the little animals, so I believe Brazilian wandering spider has been announced. So we do have small animals, and I was afraid it was just going to be like a fixed terrarium where they're on like the set animation, but I have heard stories that the spiders can escape, which means that it should be like an exhibit wouldn't be set in its design, like you can change its design to be, well, to be whatever you want to be. And then I'm really hope that's the case, because then we get some really cool small animal behavior. So not just small arthropods like spiders, but maybe even frogs or little lizards. I'm really hoping they do some cool stuff with that in Planet Zoo. Yeah, so over here we're working on another one of those sticky out of the wall exhibits. I'm not sure what terms to call half of these things, but yeah. And here's an exhibit that's kind of just on the ground. I believe I'm going to put a beetle in there. Oh, and over there you can see me using the pillars to kind of add more organic shapes to the wall. Locusts did that in his reef pole, I believe, and that's where I got the idea from. It's pretty cool. It's a lot different to what we normally used to in Zoo Tycoon 2, and different is good, I guess, because playing the same game for I don't know how many years, different is definitely good, unless it's bad. That's the yes, it's good unless it's bad. Quote of the day. But anyway, so just waiting on finishing this, and then I do believe we have a butterfly hall. Oh yeah, adding some microscopes there, because often I see bug houses, they have some microscopes where people can come and see all the miniature stuff. I don't know what they put under the microscopes, but they have them for people to see, so I have that. So should be working on a butterfly hall soon. A butterfly and beetle hall, I think I'll have it. So you'll have free-roaming beetles and butterflies. Like, having free-roaming beetles usually is dangerous because, you know, people can just steal them. So you'd have to be in like a country where people are pretty respectful. I don't know, I saw it in Japan where they have these beetle halls and people can just come and pick up the beetles and they trust them to put them back. Would not work in a lot of countries, I feel. And over here, so we're working on some pupation, I think, or cocoon chambers rather, where we have these little shells there, and underneath, the kind of idea is that caterpillars would form cocoons there, and then they kind of put it on display for people to see the different stages of metamorphosis of moths and butterflies. So now we're just working on this butterfly house. I think I decided to go with a more organic path. Like, I will remove these paths and put in a dirt path, so it's more Yeah, it looks a bit more organic, more natural, better that way. And mixing stone and some of these Japanese things in there, and I think it gives a good result. Yeah, and I believe there is speculation of butterfly houses in Planet Zoo. One of the concept arts did show like a bigger chamber with like this glass dome roof, which glass doesn't work for birds, so it might just be a butterfly garden. I'm kind of hoping we get that, but it was concept art, and since was it Wildlife Park 3, I do not trust concept art, because the cover art of Wildlife Park 3 had flamingos and peafowls, and none of those things showed up in the main game, so I'm very skeptical when it comes to concept art. But it is a possibility. I mean, hopefully Frontier will surprise us with some butterfly houses with a lot of insects, arthropods. Like I said, the spider is confirmed. And just a lot of small animals in general I would really like to see. So we get some frogs, some lizards, and really have cool behaviors in that. So I feel like large animals is quite predictable as how to behave. What I'm really curious about is how the small animals will behave. But anyway, we're approaching the end of the time lapse now, so I'm gonna have a walkthrough where I will commentate a bit more on. So I'll see you there. Okay everyone, we're back for the walkthrough thing. Before we go in the Insectarium, just wanna take a look on the outside. So just around it I added some empty aviaries and some walls there, just to give it a proper zoo vibe. So this would be like a little building inside a zoo. So this design is a bit little single color, it's just grey, but I guess some buildings actually are just, the single shade of, so it's just grey, don't need many colors in that. And the important thing is on the inside anyways. So on the side here we do have these windows, so people coming past can maybe see the butterflies on the inside of the butterfly and beetle hall. On the roof I did try and make it interesting by having these little raised areas. I did add these little, chimneys and pipes and vent things. I think it looks okay. But like I said, the main thing is on the inside, so let's go check that out. I did make this little sign here saying Insectarium with the little, what's supposed to be a little bug representing on there. Like, I don't know, maybe these are the back wings and that's front legs. I used 2 K's, an I and an A to make that. So let's go inside, and for this walkthrough I will have it on pause, just so we can actually see the insects so they don't walk behind the wall like the centipede is doing. He's already halfway through the wall. And also because the frames are really bad when you click play. It might be the butterflies, I don't know, it might be all the little arthropods in here, but... So, first animal, which isn't even an insect, because, I don't know, there's places they call them insectariums, but a lot of the animals aren't even insects. It's even worse with bug houses, like I said earlier. But here we got centipedes. Now we got some burrowing cockroaches over here, I believe. And I believe they are detritivores, so they do eat the leaves. So put leaves here for food, and then this kind of brown elevated path is supposed to look like soil, so they would burrow into the soil. There's a nice habitat, and they'll come back up to eat some leaves. Over here we got our stick insect, our mega stick, little central exhibit here, and here we got a pretty big exhibit, a lot bigger than probably should be for sun beetles. And we got some got a bird eater over here looking very fierce, Goliath bird eater. And these exhibits, they are empty. I don't know why, but the way they're placed, I couldn't get insects in them. I would have liked to do it more like how Cincinnati does it, where you have kind of a front part, and then there will be a back part that kind of goes into the backstage area, so there wouldn't be this wall there. you kind of open, so that way staff get access into the terrarium from the back there without actually having to come to the front and like lift up a lid, which is cool. Over here we do have that with the scorpions, with the exhibit coming through the wall. Pretty cool idea, I think. And even though I didn't use the stone brick, because the stone brick would have just come through into this and looked very ugly, I had to use the concrete. Doesn't look so bad with the concrete. And here we've got a few more insects, just a few general, nothing fancy about these terrariums. Got a weta, got our millipedes, and a mantis. Hello guy. And so over here we have our little interaction desks. So in this will be soil, probably beetles, or worms, some other insect that people come, and then there will be staff behind you telling you, okay, maybe you can pick them up, telling you facts about the insects in here, blah blah blah. So a little cool experience. I saw a video of an insectarium that has this. I'm not sure where it was, somewhere in the United States. But yeah, we got our ant farm, so here's all the chambers. Maybe people will be able to see the queen ants and all the workers and the eggs in here, and you can see them foraging for stuff out here. Another way you could have done that, like I mentioned earlier, is have like a aquarium insert, that sand insert, like over here. Have the logs and representing the tunnels underneath, and then have the gathering area up top. So it can just be one tile if you want it to be. Got you some Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Nothing too special. It is a bit big for them, I feel. Got a big old tree for them to climb on there. And over here we have our leafcutter ants, or based on leafcutter ants. Just let me adjust that. Did add some wallpapers around here, otherwise this wall would seem pretty bland. I feel like a lot of the walls here are pretty bland. I could have made signs, but signs take so long to make, it's such a pain. I decided I want this video out, so rather than not have signs, I'll keep signs to just Zhejiang Oceanarium. But anyway, we got our ant farm, leafcutter ants, so they live in here in these little, this is supposed to be kind of plastic or glass chambers with soil inside. They're made out of cabinets, the cabinet items. We've got a little panel in, like, see there's a little glass in the front so people can see inside the chamber. And we have the area here where they'll come and collect leaves. And we have a little microscopy thing where people will come and see little, I don't know, maybe dead insects or microscopic arthropods around here. I'm not too sure what they would have. I've never actually been to one of these insectariums. There aren't anywhere I live, unfortunately. And we got some more scorpions. Oh, one got up. Oops. And here we got some desert locusts. And you can see them from both sides. So over here we have a butterfly and beetle hall, but before we go there I did have this little passageway in case, I don't know, yeah, you're deadly scared of butterflies so you don't want to go through the hall. You can just bypass it with this bland passageway. So let's go check out the butterfly and beetle hall. I will press play for a bit so we can see the butterflies flying around, but the frames just drop when they do. You can see butterflies flying around. I'm at like 5 frames. Oh, it's horrible, oh my gosh. There's like 4 types of butterflies. Did add these skylights in, a bit more natural lighting, helps the plants, and I assume might be good for the insects too. And we of course got some beetles. So yeah, we've got stag beetles, and on this side I believe Hercules beetles, which is cool, and of course Titan beetles over here. That's cool. I thought this butterfly hall came out quite nice. Plants are looking very, very cool. Got some waterfall here. And we have the Cocoon Chamber. Like cocoons will be dangling on the side of these little shelves. Got another one over here so people can see. But anyway, I think that's about it. That's all we got to show for this Insectarium. Yeah, I haven't really seen anyone else do an Insectarium or bug house in Zoo Tycoon. Like, not even really any exhibits for just insects. So I thought I'd give it a shot. But yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope you got some cool ideas from here. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye!